Ethan Cross had everything money could buy: glass, towers with his name etched in steel, a private jet that waited on his schedule, a penthouse that overlooked the city like a king's throne. But none of it could fill the silence that followed him home every night. At 38, the CEO of a global tech empire was admired, envied, and feared in boardrooms, yet painfully invisible where it mattered most. After his parents died years earlier and his fiancée walked away claiming she felt like an accessory to his success, Ethan learned to stop expecting warmth from people. His assistant, worried by the way he buried himself in work, secretly signed him up for a high-end, blind dating service that promised to match elite men with elite women. The profile photo he was shown featured a flawless woman, designer dress, polished smile, a life that looked perfectly curated. Ethan didn't feel excitement, only obligation, but he agreed to one dinner, just to silence the nagging voices around him. The restaurant chosen was exclusive, candlelit, the kind where silence itself felt expensive. Ethan arrived early. Tailored suit immaculate, posture controlled, emotional walls firmly in place. When the door opened, he looked up expecting glamour, heels clicking, perfume announcing wealth, but instead, a woman stepped in wearing a simple blue dress, slightly worn at the edges, her hair neatly tied back as if she'd tried very hard with very little time. She paused nervously, scanning the room, clutching a second-hand purse like a shield. Ethan frowned, certain there had been a mistake. When their eyes met, confusion flashed across both faces. She approached hesitantly and said his name softly, as if unsure she was allowed to. Her name was Lily Carter, a single mother, a cleaner at a local school. The dating service had mixed profiles. Ethan's first instinct was irritation. He hated inefficiency, mistakes, but something stopped him from standing up and walking away. Maybe it was the way Lily apologized before even sitting down, or how she admitted she almost didn't come, because she couldn't afford a babysitter and had left her daughter asleep at a neighbor's house. Dinner began awkwardly. Ethan spoke in measured tones. Lily listened more than she talked. She didn't pretend to belong in his world. She didn't flatter him or ask about his money. Instead, she spoke about her daughter Emma, about stretching groceries for a week, about dreams she'd packed away because survival came first. Ethan found himself disarmed. No one had spoken to him without an agenda in years. When he offered to end the dinner early, she smiled gently and said, "It's okay if you're disappointed. I'm used to being the wrong expectation." That sentence hit him harder than any insult ever had. Against his own rules, Ethan stayed. He laughed, actually laughed, when Lily joked about burning dinner and calling it creative cooking. When the check came, Lily panicked, admitting she couldn't split it. Ethan waved it off without a thought, but she insisted on paying for coffee later, dignity intact. Outside, the city lights reflected in puddles from earlier rain, and for the first time in years, Ethan didn't rush back to his empty penthouse. As they parted, Lily thanked him, not for the dinner, but for being kind. That night, alone again, Ethan realized something unsettling. The woman who hadn't fit his expectations had left a mark deeper than any model ever had. If this story is already touching your heart, don't forget to subscribe, because stories like this remind us that sometimes life's biggest surprises arrive dressed in humility. Days passed, but Ethan couldn't shake Lily from his thoughts. He found himself replaying her laughter during meetings, wondering how someone carrying so much responsibility could still smile so easily. Against his own better judgment, he asked his assistant for Lily's contact information. When he called, she hesitated, assuming he wanted to clarify the mistake. Instead, he invited her to lunch. No pressure, no illusions. Lily almost said no. Her world had taught her that powerful men didn't invite women like her without consequences. But something in Ethan's voice, quiet, sincere, made her agree. This time, they met at a small cafe near the school where she worked. Ethan arrived without his suit, without his armor. He listened as Lily spoke about becoming a mother at 20, about a husband who left when responsibility became heavy, about choosing love over bitterness even when life felt unfair. Ethan, in turn, admitted his loneliness, how success had isolated him, how every relationship felt transactional. Slowly, walls fell. Weeks turned into regular meetings, walks in the park, Simple dinners, conversations that stretched late into the night. Lily never asked for help, even when Ethan noticed her worn shoes or the way she calculated every purchase. One evening, he offered to fix her car. She refused gently but firmly, saying, "I don't want my daughter to grow up thinking love is charity." That respect changed him. When Ethan finally met Emma, Lily's 6-year-old daughter, everything shifted. Emma didn't see a CEO. She saw a man who knelt to her level and listened to her stories. She asked him if rich people were lonely. Ethan didn't know how to answer. Over time, he learned what Lily already knew, that wealth without connection is poverty of the soul. Conflict came when the media discovered Ethan's relationship. Headlines mocked Lily, calling her a gold digger. Investors questioned his judgment. Lily, overwhelmed, tried to walk away, believing she was holding him back. But Ethan did something no one expected. At a public charity event, he took the stage and told the truth. He spoke about loneliness, about false expectations, about how a poor single mother had taught him the value of real love. He said, "She didn't steal my money, she saved my heart." Silence followed. Then applause. Lily watched from the crowd, tears. Streaming, realizing she had never been someone's shame, only their strength. Months later, Ethan downsized his life. Not his ambition, but his priorities. He invested in schools, supported single parents, and built a home filled with laughter instead of echoes. The story didn't end with a fairy tale wedding. It ended with something stronger. Partnership, respect, and chosen family. And as Ethan tucked Emma into bed one night, he understood that the blind date he thought was a mistake had been destiny correcting his vision. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you that love doesn't follow social status, subscribe to this channel, because the next story might just change the way you see the world.